helmets with holes being used here for clone troopers that very obviously do not need nor should have it is a major letdown to me. When you have a figure like this, the holes to me are quite distracting.
I am going to get so shredded for this video.
Hey guys, it's been a little while since I made a big video, but this video is something I've been really happy to make and finally upload. So yeah, this is my third time making this video. This video, I've said video way too many times in this 20 seconds, is about the Lego Star Wars Clone Trooper helmet hole argument. Without any further ado, what is this video about? Well, it's just a simple video where are the Lego Star Wars helmet holes good or bad, and my take. Anyways, ignore my brother in the background. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the summary. So, in 2022, Lego released the ATTE Walker right there next to Santa Freddy. And this set, it was very well received by a majority of people. And of course, as majority, if not every single Lego Star Wars fan knows, that set came with this character right here, Phase 2 Commander Cody. And in my personal opinion, I really like this figure. Now, of course, Cody needs the visor to be accurate to character, and Lego's original helmet design didn't have the holes for the visor. So Lego in 2022 decided to change the original 2013 design to a new helmet mold with holes in the side of the head that will accommodate for helmet attachments such as visors, macro binoculars, and rangefinders. Now, before we go any further, let's compare the two helmet designs. All right, so on the left we have the 2013 Clone Trooper helmet mold design, and on the right we have the 2022 Clone Trooper helmet design. These are both 332nd Troopers. This one comes in 2020 ATTE, and this one comes in the 2023 332nd Battle Pack. Now, you can tell that the helmets are almost identical. There's very few changes, and even from afar, I don't think you can really tell which one has holes and which one doesn't. Now, obviously, the holes compared to this one stick out a little bit, but they're really, unless you're looking from this angle, that you can't really, there's no difference. Now, one thing the helmet holes do is you can kind of see how the print kind of bows out, unlike this design. That's not really a big issue, except on one trooper we'll get into a little while. Other than that, there's no real significant difference. All you can do is with this 332nd Trooper is add helmet attachments such as visors, rangefinders, macro binoculars. Other than that, they're literally basically the same character. Now let's get back to the next part of the video. So, as you guys just saw, the helmets are nearly identical. There's no real difference. However, these people on the internet, not everyone, but a huge chunk of people on the LEGO Star Wars community have gone rabid. And I'm not even trying to exaggerate here. Like, a lot of people in the LEGO Star Wars community have turned on other people in the LEGO Star Wars community. It's kind of like a civil war going on in the LEGO Star Wars community. It's crazy, and it's all over the little holes in the side of the helmet. I wouldn't really be having that big of an issue of people calling it bad. It's just that this part of the community has gone out of its way to harass, insult people who don't mind or actually like the helmet holes, including myself. Now, while there is a very, very big, crazy part of the community, there is still a very, very big, but not as vocal part of the community that genuinely has valid criticisms of the holes, some of which I actually agree with. But these people have been categorized in the same section as the crazy people by people that either aren't in the Star Wars community or by people who think the helmet holes are good or mediocre or fine, which I don't think that's the truth. I think that these people genuinely have good criticisms but are being falsely placed by other people. But who actually started this argument? Now, this argument started a little while after the ATTE got first revealed at LegoCon by a YouTuber that a lot of us know, including myself, named MNR Productions. Now, I actually enjoy watching his content. It's just really annoying to hear him complain about the helmet holes every 2 videos. Now, he started off by just saying that they were mediocre and kind of derpy looking. However, over time, he really, really hates the helmet holes, and that hatred built up over time. And you can now tell that it's the second coming of Satan, to his eyes at least. And he even got a lot of his community to dislike the helmet holes as well. And that community is now in line with the crazy side. And a lot of people in the community aren't that crazy and are also being categorized as crazy, but I went over that earlier. Anyways, it's just, I don't like having helmet holes in every other video, and I have proof by this little compilation of him complaining about helmet holes.
Phase 2 helmets with holes being used here for clone troopers, that is a major letdown to me. The holes, to me, are quite distracting. Filled, I still don't like the 4-hole design. I think it's dumb. 22 helmet being the very ugly holes on the side holes this time, which really sucks because I think the side holes look terrible. Though I just cannot do those helmet holes. They look so bad. Finally fix helmet hole.
So you get my point. And also, there's a ton more. I have a lot more on my phone. I'll pull up some screenshots here of all the ones I have on my phone. There's like 20 I have. And I know there's more that I didn't find, but you get my point. He says it a lot, way too much. And I'll describe why it's a problem later, but let's get into the non-biased opinion section. All right, we're gonna start off with why people think that's good. The main, an overview of maybe the majority of people, why they say that they don't mind or they like the helmet holes, is because it's very, very similar to the 2013 design, as I showed a few minutes ago. And that is just the truth, honestly. There's very, very few differences to the previous helmet design, and stated by Watermelon Studios, a fellow Lego YouTuber, if we had gotten this helmet first, none of us would be complaining. And he's right. If the helmet hole design was first, I don't think anyone would be complaining because it's so similar. Another argument that I will go more in depth later in my own opinion is that you can add accessories to the helmet and you can make it as customizable as possible. And people already love to make troopers out of their own head. People make custom blasters for troopers, custom like clone troopers in general, but you can add accessories to the helmets and make your own trooper from a custom Legion, which I think is amazing. One thing about the people who think it's good is that they're not very vocal on why they believe it's good. The only thing that they say is really, it's not that bad, it's very unnoticeable, or you can add helmet, like accessories. They don't really go too in depth, unlike the crazy people who just like tear into everything. So that's why there's going to be a couple, like one more argument in the bad sections, because I literally could not find a argument for people who think it's good apart from my own opinion, which I'll get to in a second. All right, so now it's time to talk about why they are bad. Why are the helmet holes bad? And I'll also be providing my rebuttal, and those are opinionated, but the actual statements slash arguments are not my opinions. Those are unbiased, but the rebuttals are. Just to like clear that out of the air. So the first basic straw man, if you want to say that, argument that these people give is that they're inaccurate, which technically is right. The clone troopers in universe do not have the holes in the helmet, but to rebuttal that, as you can see with Cody, the holes down here is too low for the visor. And if I pull up a picture of Commander Cody, you can see that the visor is above the bottom bump. So technically it is accurate for those clone troopers that do use visors and macro binoculars. However, for troopers that have, say, rangefinders or don't use them, they're inaccurate. But also, one more rebuttal to this section is how people will say, oh, I'm not going to use rangefinders and visors because they're inaccurate to clone troopers. I just want to keep them plain. Just because you're not going to do it doesn't mean kids or the general consumer won't do it. That's just you. And plus, a lot of clone troopers, specifically in the Umbara arc, if you know what that is when you're watching Clone Wars, majority of them have macro binoculars on. So technically, it could be accurate if you want to go strive for accuracy. However, a lot of kids and a lot of people in the general consumer will want that added customizability to the troopers. So that's my rebuttal on it. But yes, if you want to strive for accuracy, troopers that have either rangefinders or do not use them, they are very slightly inaccurate. Let's move on to the next point. All right. So the next argument that the people who say helmet holes are bad, they'll say that the helmets on the new troopers are like derpy looking and have like just a bit of a wonky shape to them, where the holes are added too high above the helmet. I think even MNR Productions said that. Anyways, to rebuttal that, I'll say that right now, looking at the troopers from this distance, I can definitely notice that the holes are noticeable. However, they're not end-all be-all. As an example, they're not like a sea of red, and there's like a touch of, like, there's a square of blue. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So that's my rebuttal on it. It's noticeable, but not in your face. Let's move on. So the final argument on why people say that the helmet holes are bad is the most valid in my opinion, is how it like screws with the print, especially on the 212 Trooper. And that I can't really say anything against because it's true, and that is my biggest issue with the helmet holes. But there's no real rebuttal to it other than it's like small, it's not very widespread. It's on a lot of the troopers, like as you can tell with these two troopers. The 2013 helmet mold doesn't have the printing issues, while the 2022 version does. Well, very slight. It just kind of blows out, which I don't really know why the helmet holes really makes the, see that, I almost dropped it there, makes the helmet print like bow out or go down. I have no idea why. It's just, the only rebuttal that I can think of is that it's not very widespread, and the biggest problem is the 212 Trooper. Even in the advent calendar, it's still a problem. So yeah, let's get on to what my opinion is. Now, what's my opinion on the helmet holes? Personally, I don't really mind them. I don't think they're that big of a deal. End of story. However, to go more in depth, I think that the helmet holes, specifically the argument on the good side saying how you can add accessories to the troopers, I think that some people take that statement and don't expand on it, because there's more to that statement. Ever since LEGO released the helmet holes in 2022, they have made way more named captains and commanders, i.e. Commander Cody, Captain Vaughn, Captain Rex, Commander Fox. They've made a lot of troopers with helmet accessories. And I think, personally, that the slight inaccuracy is worth the gain of more named troopers and customizability on the troopers. That is how I view it. I'll write that down on the screen because I probably butchered that horrendously, but that is my current take. I think that the helmet holes open the doors to new named troopers, such as Fives, Bly, Echo, before he got blown up. Like a bunch of troopers that have helmet accessories that LEGO couldn't make prior to the helmet holes. They can now make them. However, troopers like, say, Gree, who don't have any helmet accessories, would look fine because the helmet holes aren't the most in-your-face thing in the world. So yeah, that's my personal take on it. So, in conclusion, are the helmet holes good or bad? You make a decision, honestly. It's all up to you. Everyone has their own opinion. As long as you're not hurting anyone, your opinion is valid to me. Personally, I don't mind them. I think they're fine. But my take is, I think that the slight inaccuracy is worth the potential for new clone troopers that we would not have gotten otherwise. So yeah, let's end this video off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm filming this on a different day, the next day, so ignore that. But I'm putting this video into two parts. This part was more about like the argument of the helmet holes, and the next part will be about the community and how everything is evolved into hatred and toxicity. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully y'all learned something, or just wanted to watch a video because you're bored. Or maybe no one's gonna watch this video, which is probably the latter. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye.